Today we're going to be using a fun feature, gradient on a stroke, and a type of effect from effects menu to make spaghetti and meatballs. And I know what you're saying. Why? Why is it always food? Why does she always choose food? Well, hey, because it's a good way to apply this stuff. And it's a fun way to learn how to use different features. So I've got a little floating meatball over here and a pile of spaghetti. I'm gonna recreate the same thing and show you exactly how I did it so you can do it too. Except when you do it, you're gonna put your spaghetti in an interesting setting with an interesting tablecloth and an interesting vessel of your choice. Well, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You can decide. But I will show you how I made the spaghetti and how I made the meatball. To make the spaghetti, the first thing you're going to need to do is open up Gradient Panel from Window menu. I've got a green gradient going on in here, and I want to put a different colored gradient. So here is how to change that. I'm also going to put the gradient into the stroke and put the stroke in the foreground by dragging what's in the fill over in here and then clicking on this thing so that the little square shape overlaps the other square shape. To change out the colors in the gradient panel, it's as simple as just double clicking on them and choosing a color that you think is, I don't know, spaghetti like. Okay, yeah, that works for me. The color that's in the center, I don't know, when was the last time I made spaghetti? Can't really remember what it looked like. Okay, that looks all right. Maybe that's a little too orange. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more yellow. Whatever. Um, Maybe this needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, good. So over here, I need more of that orange stuff, but rather than just clicking over here and dropping in another one of those things and trying to fuss around and figure out where the orange is, I'm just going to hold down its Alt key in Windows or Option key in Mac to duplicate that, click and drag, and then set things up with these little diamond shapes up here so that the rust orange color color thing is over all the way over on the edge, and most of this is that I can always adjust it later. Most of this thing gets taken up with the yellow fill color in the center. Okay, you have a variety of different ways. We're gonna, like if you'd noticed looking at gradient panel, you have different types of gradients available to you. One is linear. Because I've got the stroke chip selected, I'm limited to what I can do in here. One of my choices for gradient is linear. That's the one I'm going to leave it set to. This one is for radial gradient. It's what it sounds like. It means the lighter color or whatever color this will be in the center, and then this other stuff will be in the edge. Because I've got this and this on either of those sides, I can't choose this other last one, which is freeform gradient. I haven't found a good use for that yet. I've also got choices here with stroke. If I'm applying a gradient to a stroke, I can set it to go within the stroke, along the stroke, or this thing, across the stroke. Across the stroke is what is going to make spaghetti. So, best tool to use, I could use pen tool, but I kind of want to make a mess. So, pencil tool is what I'm going to use. You may not see pencil at first. It may be hiding under paintbrush. So click on paintbrush and hold. It'll show you in the little drawer here. Pencil tool. And last time I did this, I crashed. So hopefully we don't. Just go bananas with pencil tool and make a big pile of whatever. Yeah, I know you're saying, wait, you told us not to do things that would make a lot of anchor points. Yeah, if I get stuck in a hang, you'll definitely know why. Um, so yeah, there's my pile of spaghetti. Hopefully, okay, little bit of spinning beach ball of death. Hopefully it goes away really, really fast. Okay, it did. So my first choice in here, and you can't see that very well, so I'll jack up the stroke weight because it was only 8 point before. What do I want? Do I want that? You know, there's all different kinds of spaghetti. There's like tubatini and all this other ones, and there's like thin spaghetti and thick spaghetti and angel hair. Okay, I'm going to make it thick enough so you can see. So I'm going to leave it at 19 point, 20 point, 20 point. So By default, the gradient is applied within the stroke, so that's what I get. But if I want to make it look like spaghetti, this is really, it's so simple. You're going to say, damn, I've been trying to draw spaghetti in Illustrator for years and it's been so difficult. Shh, don't tell anyone. This thing, this last thing, apply gradient across stroke. What that will do is that will turn your stuff into spaghetti. If the color isn't as convincing as you like, hey, reselect it, and I'm gonna yank that one out of there and temporarily, okay, I know it looks like crap right now. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that during a, sure you can say it during a video. Okay, so now I'm putting the darker orange color in there, and this one we're gonna change it so that it's a, come on, yeah, we're having like major fail going on here. Okay, so we'll adjust that, playing with the sliders, and then, like I said, hold down Alt key in Windows, Option key in Mac, and just duplicate that one over there. Adjust the little sliders here, little diamond shapes, and that will change what you got going on over here and make it look more like spaghetti. So great. I know it's not fabulous. Wait, you're saying, wait, it doesn't have any drop shadows in it. Okay, but yeah, there you go, spaghetti. So spaghetti with pencil tool and gradient. The meatball, and I'm just going to temporarily close the gradient panel. The meatball, I've already got a lovely shade of brown in here that I've picked for this. The meatball is going to require something different. It's nothing fancy, just ellipse tool. Hold down your shift key while you make it. My meatballs never come out perfect anyway. I know, just put the gradient in there because that's the last thing we had in there. While that shape is still selected, change your stroke to, well, hey, not 20 point, something else. 10 looks good. And change the fill by clicking on it in swatches and choosing, I'm going to choose this lovely brown meatball color that I already have in there. So now I go back to select tool and effect menu, and in effect menu I've got something called distort and transform. If you've looked at these things and wonder, what the heck do they do? Zigzag is what we're going to use to make the edges of the meatball. If you've actually made real meatballs, you know that they, no matter how hard you try, they don't come out like golf balls. They're not perfectly smooth. They don't come out like ping pong balls. They've always got little bumps and stuff because that's the way they work. Regardless of if you make your meatball out of carnivorous product or if you make it out of something like plant-based product. So things we need to do. That, I know you're saying, well, that really doesn't look like a meatball. No, it doesn't, okay? But if you change points to smooth instead of corner and change ridges per segment to something more than the default of 4, I know you're saying, well, that looks like crap. Yeah, but knock down the size to about 5, 4, 2, 2. So size, 2 pixels. Yeah, you know, if you knew what you had done this before and you're like, yeah, today's meatball day. We're going to make meatballs. That's all we're doing. We're just making meatballs. You could knock that down to 2 and there you go. It's a meatball. There are other things you can do to this. You can like duplicate it, take the stroke off of it, make this into a different, I don't know, different color. Now I didn't want that in the stroke. I want it in the fill. You could make it into a different color. You could like chop something out of it, make it so that it looked like limited opacity. The choice is really yours, what you do to this thing to make it look more fabulous and more meatball like. So have fun making spaghetti and meatballs.